All right, so let's continue to build our discussion. All right, so when we say that token engineering is an engineering process, or it's a set of methodologies that need to be applied to reach to a particular result, what we basically mean is that it is a set of methodologies that obviously we use, co-founders, project team members of any Web3 ecosystem, to make informed design choices. So we've got a defined methodology, that a path that we take, a discovery process, a design process, a modeling process, which is modeling and simulation, and then we start rolling it out into our marketplace. So there are design choices as we go along the way, and those design choices are informed decisions that the co-founders and the project teams who are working on the design of this token take to make sure that the goal of the project is aligned, or the goal of the protocol is aligned with the design choices that we make during our token engineering process. So that's point number one. Point number two, that it's a formal mathematical modeling, a set of formal mathematical modeling techniques that we use. So as we go deeper into the course, you will realize that every input has an output. Anytime somebody buys something, it has an impact in your marketplace. Anytime somebody sells something back, it has an impact in your marketplace. Anytime somebody lends something from your marketplace, it has a whole impact on the marketplace. We'll also talk about what is quantitative validation. And we're going to apply all of these into simulation experiments. So not just we are going to put everything on paper, that these are my stakeholders, this is their vested interests, and this is how the stakeholders interact with each other, or they are supposed to interact with each other, and this is how the protocol defines that the stakeholders interact with each other. But we are also going to learn that how do we simulate all of this before actually putting this into a production environment? So we've analyzed, we've followed a particular methodology aligned with the goal of the project or the goal of the protocol. We've put that methodology into a mathematical model. We did some quantitative validations on that. And now we actually use specialized tools, which I'm going to explain later. We're going to use specialized tools and put everything in a model, and then run some simulations. And those simulations are basically going to answer a lot of questions that the co-founders or the design team or the project team members have at the start. That what happens if this happens in the ecosystem? What happens if that happens in the ecosystem? We're going to learn how to apply those inside into those simulation models and see what is the overall effect of what happens to the ecosystem. Consider a Web3 ecosystem as a marketplace, right? Like you have a marketplace on Sundays. You go to a marketplace and there's buying and selling happening, and there's either buying and selling of fruits happening, or buying and selling of vegetables happening, buying and selling of cars. It's like a marketplace. When you create a Web3 ecosystem, it's like a marketplace. Now you've got agents inside the marketplace, and you've got agents outside the marketplace. So when you're designing a token, you are basically looking at what are agents doing inside the marketplace, and then how do they interact with, how do you want them to interact with each other, and then what are the agents who are outside this Web3 marketplace, how do they interact with your ecosystem, and how do other ecosystems talk to your ecosystem. So I'm going a bit wider, but we're going to talk about all this, but consider your Web3 ecosystem as a marketplace. You're designing an economy. You're designing an economy of a marketplace, of a country, of a city, maybe. And your token basically is a vital part of that economy, because your token, how value is created for a token, and how that token gets circulated in your economy, and that is how it gets its value. So we are going to. It's not that you just design a token and you just launch it and then it's going to run by itself. There is obviously this process of continuous improvement that you have to do into your production environment, into your rules, into your protocol, so that you know that your token is aligned with the objectives that it was designed to align. And that is how you obviously do continuous improvement. So I hope that was useful, and we'll see you in the next video.